yes. The dwarves, one by one, after the knights in Mirkwood Forest had all gone out, had made a last despairing effort to stagger on in the direction in which they guessed the path to lay. They would never find out if they were right. Out leaped wood elves with their bows and spears, calling each dwarf to a halt. And to all of them, there was no thought of a fight. They were actually glad to be captured. Indeed, some of the dwarves had been found first by spiders, although not quite as large as the one Bilbo had fought, and were happy to be relieved from their fighting. Each dwarf was blindfolded, but that did not seem to make much difference, for they could not see in the darkness where they were, nor knew where they were headed, nor knew anything of the fate of each other. In a great hall made of pillars filled of the living stones stood the Elven King.
Why did you and your folk 3 times try to attack my people at their merrymaking?
We did not attack them. We came to beg. Because we were starving.
Where are your friends now, and what are they doing?
I don't know. But I expect. Starving in the forest.
What were you doing in the forest?
Looking for food and drink because we were starving!
But what brought you into the forest at all? Very well. Gallion, take him away, and keep him safe until he feels inclined to tell the truth. Even if he waits 100 years.
Help me! Help me! Help me! Point you! Fire kisses! What? Is it a crime, O king? To be lost in a forest? To be hungry and thirsty? To be attacked by spiders? What? The spiders will king beasts to your pets. If killing them makes you so angry.
It is a crime to wander in my realm without leave. Do you forget that you were in my kingdom, using the roads that my people made? Did you not 3 times pursue and trouble my people, and rouse the spiders with your riot and clamor? And worse, you brought into our hallowed wood a complement of goblin spies. Did you pretend you did not intentionally leave them here? After all the disturbance you have made, I have a right to know what brings you here. And if you will not tell me now, I will keep you in prison until you have learned some sense and manners.
No right to hold me here! Wait! Get off of me! What? Take all out! Get off! No!
Poor Mr. Baggins. It was a really long time that he lived in that place all alone, never daring to take off his ring, hardly daring to sleep. He took to wandering about the Elven King's palace. Magic shut the gates, but inside the caves, he found he was able to make a living of some sort by stealing food from table or store when no one was at hand.
I am like a burglar that can't get away. I must go on miserably burgling the same house day after day. This is the dreariest and dullest part of all this wretched, tiresome, uncomfortable adventure. I wish I was back. My nice hot and hole by the fire. I am shining.
Eventually, after a week or 2 of this sneaking sort of life, and by following the guards and taking what chances he could, he managed to find out where each dwarf was being killed.
Thorin Oakenshield.
I have gone mad.
Not yet, at least. It's Bilbo. It's your burglar.
Perhaps I should tell the Elven King everything.
You'll tell him nothing of the sort. Now listen to me.
Bilbo, is that really you? Have I lost my sight in this dark dungeon?
I have not been completely forthcoming. I had some help escaping from the Misty Mountains and the creature Gollum. Something I left out of the story I told you. I found, deep inside the mountain, a very peculiar ring, a very precious ring. It keeps me invisible. I've been wearing it for quite a while now.
God. Well, I'm blessed. So that's how you sneaked past us, is it? Now I know. Just crept quietly along, did you, Mr. Baggins?
I'll explain all later, but I'm here now. Everyone is here. Dwaylen and Feely and Keely, and Bomber too, though he's usually sleeping when I find him.
You may be our only hope, Bilbo. And I thank Gandalf for bringing you along now, after all. Bilbo, if you can risk it, I need you to bring a message to the others. Tell them not to reveal our errand to the Elven King. Not before I give the word. Not until all hope of escape in any other ways has disappeared.
Not until our remarkable Mr. Invisible Baggins has altogether failed to think of something clever. And Bilbo,
Yes, though.
do think of something clever.
The other dwarves quite agreed. They too brought up their own shares of the treasure with somewhat seriously if the wood elves claimed part of it, and they all trusted Bilbo. Bilbo, however, did not feel nearly as hopeful as they did. He sat and thought until his head nearly burst, but no bright idea would come.
One invisible ring is a very fine thing, but it's not much good among 6.
But, as you may have guessed, he did manage to rescue his friends in the end, and this is how it happened. One day, while nosing and poking and wandering about, Bilbo discovered a very interesting thing. The great gates were not the only entrance to the cave. A stream flowed under the lowest region of the pass, and in the king's cellars there were great oaken trapdoors. There stood barrels and barrels, for the elves were very fond of wine, and so it was brought in from far away. When the barrels were empty, the elves opened the trapdoors, cast them through the water gate, and into the water they fell below, bobbing along on the current into the long lake to be collected. Bilbo sat and thought about this water gate for a while, and wondered if it could be used for the escape of his friends, and at last he had a desperate beginning of a plan.
Come with me and let us taste the new wine that has just come out. I shall be hard at work tonight clearing the cellars of these empty barrels, so let us have a drink first to help the labor.
Very good, Galleon. I will taste with you to see if it's fit for the king. For all, there is a feast tonight, and it would not do to set it up before it was done.
When he heard this, Bilbo was all aflutter, for he saw that luck was with him. It must be potent wine to make a wood elf drowsy, and soon enough, the 2 elves nodded their heads on the table and laid them there, fast asleep. Then in crept the hobbit. Very soon the chief guard had no keys, and Bilbo went, trotting along as fast as he could to the passageways to the cells. And soon enough, he had collected all of his friends.
No time now. You must follow me. We must all keep together without risking the separate. All of us must escape alone, and this is our last chance. This is found out. Goodness knows where the king will put you next. Chains on your hands and feet, you amazement. That's good feather.
On my word, Gandalf spoke true as usual. We find burglar you make it when the time comes. I'm saying we are forever in your service, no matter what happens after this. What comes next?
Each of you is to climb inside of one of these barrels. I'll seal them up after you're inside, and then the elves will throw you down the trapdoor and ride the river out to the lake.
I'll be bruised and battered to pieces.
I'm proud! Pathetic! We've got to have some sensible notion when you stole the keys. Barrels out of bond.
Oh, no, this is a mad idea. Fine then. Come along back to your nice cells, and I'll lock you up inside again. You can sit there comfortably and think of a better plan. But I don't think I'll ever get a chance to get a hold of the keys again, even if I am inclined to try.
We will do as he says, and quick.
Shake him. Wake him. You are all late.
Here am I, waiting and waiting down here while you fellows drink and make merry and forget your task.
Indeed.
Small wonder if I fall asleep from weariness.
Small wonder when there's flashes this close at hit in the jack. Sailors, Galleon, you've feasted early and muddled your wits. You've stacked full casks here if there's anything to wait.
Well, get on with the work. There's nothing in the feeling of weight in an idle tosspot's arms. These are the ones to go and no others. Now, do as I say.
Very well. Put it on your head if the king's full butter tubs and best wine is tossed down the river for the lake men to feast on for no reason.
Just then, this Bilbo saw the weak part of this land. Most likely you just saw it before and have been laughing at him, haven't you? But I don't suppose you would have done as well yourselves if you would have been in his place. Bilbo was not in one of the barrels where there was no one to pack him in, even if there had been a chance. It looked as if he would lose his friends this time. In despair and not knowing what else to do, Bilbo ran out to the last barrel, caught hold, and into the water he fell. Splash! Into the water with the barrel on top of him. Spluttering and clinging to the wood, Bilbo rolled along the current. It was like riding without bridle or stirrups. A round-bellied pony was always thinking about rolling into the grass. If he had escaped the dungeons of the kingdom and went through the wood, but whether alive or dead remains to be seen. The forest river rushed into the long lake. Bilbo would never imagine that any water not the sea full of so big. It was so wide that some of the shores looked small and far. And it was so long that its northerly end pointed towards the lonely mountain. Not the sea at all.
Well now, are you alive or are you dead, huh? Are you in prison or are you free? If you want food and you want to go on with this silly adventure, it's yours after all and not mine. You better slap your arms and rub your legs and help me get them out, while there's still a chance.
I hope I never smell the smell of apples again. When you are cold and tired and sick with hunger, you smell apples everlastingly. It's torment. I could eat anything in the world right now. Anything, but not apples.
Well, here we are. I suppose we ought to thank our stars and Mr. Baggins. I'm sure he has a right to accept it. Though I wish you could have arranged a more comfortable journey, still, all very much at your service once more, Mr. Baggins. No doubt we shall feel properly grateful when we are fed and recovered. In the meanwhile, what's next?
I suggest Lake Town. What else is there?
Not far from the house of a voice with a name the town he had the end of speak of in the king's service. It was not built on the surface of the shore, but right on the surface of the lake. A great bridge made of wood ran out where huge piles of forest trees was built of busy foot in the town. Not the town of elves, but of men.
Civilization, eh?
Who are you and what do you want?
Thorin, son of Thrain, son of Thrall, king under the mountain. I have come back. I wish to see the master of your town.
And who are these?
Sons of my father's daughter, Fili and Kili of the race of Durin, Raymond, Bomber, and Mr. Baggins, who traveled with us out of the west.
If you come in peace, lay down your arms.
We have none. We have no need of weapons to return at last to our own, as spoken of old. Nor can we fight against so many. Please, take us to your master.
He is at feast.
And all the more reasons for taking us to him. For we are worn and famished after our long road, and we have sick comrades. Now, make haste, and let us have no more words, or your master may have something to say to you.
Follow me then.
The city! There's
a trap!
His mouth shall flow in fountains, and the rivers golden run. The streams shall run in gladness, the lake shall shine and burn. All sorrow fail in sadness, and the mountains kings return.
Not even the oldest grandfather here has memory of such excitement in Lake Town. Long have the stories been told of his return from the king under the mountain. And the rivers would run with gold. Iron Bar, the line of Girion.
Girion, Lord of Dale, was a good friend of my father.
If you are who you say, I have as much to gain as you do.
I am the rightful heir to be King of Dale.
King of Dale? What are you doing standing guard at Lake Town?
There is no Dale to speak of. The city still stands. True enough. It has been a very long time since anyone has dared travel so close to the lonely mountain. I am respected well enough here in Lake Town. The city's master will not treat me nearly so well as those who sing in return.
Master of yours. What strangers interrupt our feast?
I am Thorin, son of Thrain, son of Thrall, king under the mountain. I return.
Ha! These are the very dwarves I've traveled so quickly here to warn you of. These are prisoners of our king that have escaped, wandering vagabonds that cannot give any good account of themselves, sneaking through the woods and molesting our people.
Is this true? It would seem far more likely than the return of the king under the mountain. Any such person ever existed.
Welcome this is King of Dale
Has already welcomed us as such.
The king of Dale? In the Lake Town, we have always elected our masters from among the old and the wise. We have not endured the rule of mere fighting men. Let King Bard go back to his own kingdom. Nothing hinders his return save the dragon. And all that wish may go with him, if they prefer the cold stones under the shadow of the mountain, the green shores of our lake.
My apologies, Master.
Now, what are these accusations? Is it true that you are escaped prisoners?
No, we are not!
It is true. We were wrongfully waylaid by the Elven King and imprisoned without cause as we journeyed back to our own land. But lock nor bar may hinder the homecoming spoken of old. Nor is this town in the Wood Elves' realm. I speak to the master of the town of the Men of the Lake, not to the raftmen of the Elven King. Swim home, Elf.
Well, indeed. The Mountain King returns. So tell me, Thorin, son of Thrain, son of Thor, king under the mountain, why yet our rivers flow with water, not gold? Why still we live under the shadow of the mountain and a dragon, rather than out in the daylight counting our riches? The songs say that peace and fortune will accompany your return, and yet the only companions I count are some soggy dwarves. Is this hapless party to accomplish what generations of our soldiers have failed at? Do you even dare to try? There is no knowing what a dwarf must do as a revenge and the recovery of his own!
I mean to reclaim what is rightfully mine, your songs. You are not my concern.
See, no treasure will come back from Mirkwood without the Elven King having something to say in the matter. But I expect it will all come to a bad end, and certainly right.
Go bother Smog and see how he welcomes them. Very well, Thorin, Thrain's son, Thror's son. You must claim your own. The hour is at hand, spoken of old.
Do come in, please! Oh, my wife should prepare a bath for him.
What help we can offer shall be yours. And we trust to your gratitude when your kingdom is regained.
There was nothing for the master to do but obey the general clamor and pretend to believe that Thorin was what he said. They were all doctored and fed and housed in the most delightful and satisfactory fashion. And so, one day, although autumn was now getting far on and the winds were cold, 3 large boats left Lake Town, laden with rowers, dwarves, Mr. Baggins, and many provisions. The White Horse dipped and splashed, and they started off north on the last stage of their long journey. The only person thoroughly unhappy was Bilbo. It was a weary journey, and a quiet and a stealthy one. They knew they were reaching the end, and that it might be a very horrible end. They were come at the desolation of the dragon, and they were come at the waning of the year. All the same, they reached the skirts of the lonely mountain without any sign of danger or of the dragon, other than the wilderness he had made about his lair. The mountain lay dark and silent before them, and even higher above them. There, too, they saw the long deserted town of Dale, empty and cold. Quietly and quickly, they made their way up the sides of the lonely mountain. They avoided the front gates that led deep inside the mountain entirely, and searched instead on the sides for the secret entrance.
If the map reads true, somewhere high above the cliff at the valley's head must stand the secret door.
Day by day, they went without success, until at last, they found what they were searching for. This was not a cave, and was open to the sky above, but at its inner end a flat wall rose up in the lower part, close to the ground, and was as smooth and upright as mason's work.
Now it's time for our esteemed Mr. Baggins. He has proved himself a good companion on our long road, and a hobbit, courage and resource, far exceeding his size. Now is the time for him to earn his reward. Your name is Baggins.
If you mean you think it is my job to go inside the secret passage first, well, say so at once and have done. I might refuse! I have got you out of 2 messes already, which were hardly part of the original bargain, so that I am, I think, already owed some reward.
We knew it would be a desperate venture. As for your share, Mr. Baggins, I assure you, we are more than grateful. And you shall choose your own 6th share.
Once he gets first pick.
As soon as we have anything to divide.
Now who is coming with me? Drat that bird! I believe he's listening. I don't like the look of him.
No. Rushes. Rushes are good and friendly. This is a very old bird indeed. It is maybe the last left of the ancient breed that used to live about here. Tamed at the hands of my grandfather. Men of Dale used to have the trick to understanding their language. I myself still understand some.
Well, perhaps the thrush will join me.
Perhaps.
I will go with you. Or perhaps just a bit of the way. Just to be ready to call for help if necessary.
There it is. Dwarves are not heroes. Some are tricky and treacherous, others are not, but are decent enough people like Thorin and company.
Good luck.
If you do not expect too much. Then the hobbit slipped on his ring, and warned by the echoes to take more than hobbit's care to make no sound, he crept noiselessly down, down, down into the dark.
Now you are in for it at last, Bilbo Baggins. You went and put your foot right in it that night of the party. Now you've got to pull it out and pay for it. What a fool I was and am. I have absolutely no use for dragon-guarded treasures. The whole lot could stay here forever and ever if only I could wake up and find...
To say that Bilbo's breath was taken away is no description at all. He had heard tales and songs of dragon halls before, but the splendor, the lust, the glory of such a treasure had not yet come home to him. In the midst of it all, he saw a great jewel that took all light upon it, and changed it into 10,000 swans.
The Arkenstone. The heart of the mountain. Or so I guess from Thorin's description. There could not be 2 such gems even in so marvelous a hoard, even in all the world. I suppose I must tell the dwarves about it sometime. They did say I could pick and choose my own share, and I think I would choose this, even if they kept all the rest. More and grosser than a burglar. Indeed. Well, we'll hear no more of that. Ring winner! I am the clue finder! And I am Barrel Rider!
Ah, that's better! Very well, Barrel Rider. You may walk on sea. I will give you one piece of advice. Don't have more to do with dwarves than you can help. Dwarves? Don't talk to me! I know the smell and taste of dwarf. No one better. You come to imagine you go with such friends, the Barrel Rider. I suppose they are scouting outside, and your job is to do all the dangerous work, and you will get a fair share. Don't you, baby?
You don't know everything, O Smog the Mighty. Not gold alone brought us hither.
Ah, in that case, perhaps you may not altogether waste your time. I don't know that it does occur to you that, even if you could steal the gold and bit by bit, a matter of 100 years or so, you cannot get it very far, and you not got on the catch. Not much use in the forest. Bless me.
Tell you, the gold was only an afterthought with us. We came for revenge! Surely, O Smog, the unaccessibly wealthy, you must realize that your success has brought you some bitter enemies.
Revenge! Revenge! The king under the mountain is dead, and where are his kindred to seek revenge? I have eaten his people like a wolf among sheep, and where his son that dare approach me, I kill where I wish, and none dare resist. Deep in the shadows, my armor is like 10 gold shoes, my teeth swords. I have always spears.
Yes, I have always understood that dragons were softer under me, especially in the region of the chest. But doubtless, one so fortified has has thought of that.
Ah, your information is antiquated. I am armored above and below with iron scales and tonsils. No blade can pierce me. Look! What do you say to that?
Dazzlingly marvelous. What magnificence to possess a waistcoat of fine diamonds.
Yes, it is rare and wonderful indeed.
Well, I really must not detain your magnificence any longer, or keep you from much-needed rest. Ponies take a while catching after a good start, I've heard. And so you burglars!
I don't know your smell! But if you are not to lose a minute of life, you are their help! They shall see me and remember who is the real king of the mountain!
Never laugh at dragons, Bilbo, you fool! You aren't nearly through this adventure!
Fast! They'll be the first bit of the slope. We've not been nearly far enough before the ghastly head of smoke was thrust against the opening. Luckily, the whole head of John could not squeeze through. He's been feeling rather pleased with the cleverness of the conversation with Smoke, but his mistake at the end shook him into better sense. Worst, as he risked to look backwards, you could see that the great beast had left the treasure chamber. But where it was headed, he feared to guess.
Quick! Quick! The door of the tunnel! It's no good here! We must get inside and shut the door! I feel that dragon in my marrow! Inside the tunnel! What are you doing? Smoke knows how I came down to his hall, and you can count on him to guess where the other end of the tunnel is!
Smoke is awake!
He will break all the side of the mountain to bits if necessary to stop our entrance. And if we are smashed with it, the better he will like it! Come inside!
You haven't alerted the beast to a plan!
Be inside! I was not engaged to kill dragons! That is a warrior's work, but steal treasure! Do you expect me to trot back here with the whole horde of Thror on my back? We should have brought 500 burglars, not one! You cannot pretend that you ever made the vast extent of this world clear to me! I should want hundreds of years to bring it all up! If I were 50 times as big, and as small as tame as a rabbit!
Hold on!
Get inside!
Bit of this I don't know! You're not learning something that can aid us!
Smoke! There is a large patch in the hollow of his left breast, as bare as the snail out of its shell.
How do you know?
He showed it to me! We must get inside! Track that bird again!
The bird of gold!
Our only hope is to get well inside the tunnel and shut the door! Come, get inside!
What are the weapons?
Smoke will be coming any minute now! Bomba, get inside the tunnel!
There is no trace of a keyhole left on the inside of the secret door. It was shut inside the mountain. There the dwarf sat in utter silence. Little they ate and little they spoke. They could not count the passing of time. Finally, after days and days of waiting, as it seemed, when they were dazed and want for lack of air, they could bear it no longer.
I must feel the wind on my face soon. Or die. I think I would rather be smashed by smog in the open than suffocate in here.
We are trapped. We shall die in here.
What? Smog playing at, I wonder, eh? Are you not home today? But tonight, whatever time it is, still forgot.
Confound you, Smog, you worm. Stop playing hide and seek. Give me a light, and then eat me if you can catch me.
Thorin, what's next? The treasure is not yet won back. We are not looking for gold, but a way of our escape. And we've tempted luck much too long.
What then do you propose we should do?
Mr. Baggins.
I have no idea at the moment. If you mean about removing the treasure, if you really want my advice, I should say, do nothing but stay here for the moment. By day, we can no doubt creep out safely enough to breathe the air. Speak the truth.
Aye, but But not here. Not in this chamber. I can feel the dragon's eyes on the back of my head.
But if not here, which way? Which way is east, west, north, or south?
East? Not in 1,000 years. I forget the ways of this palace. This is the great chamber of thrall. The hall of feasting and of council. Not far off is the front gate. Keep your eyes peeled, friends. It surprises me the Arkenstone is not sitting atop this treasure hoard. On we go.
Dear me. More walking and more climbing without breakfast. I wonder how many breakfasts and other meals we've missed inside this nasty, clockless, timeless hole.
Not call my palace a nasty hole. Wait till it's been cleaned and redecorated.
It won't be until Smog is dead. Meanwhile, where is he? It would give a good breakfast to know. I hope he's not up in the mountain, looking down at us. Thorin!
Now, if you wish, like the dwarves, to hear news of Smog, you must go back to where he flew off in a rage. Smog had left his chamber, floated heavily into the air, and then soared slowly and darkly, and went away south towards Lake Town. Before long, so great was his speed, the men there could see him as a great spark of fire rushing towards them, even huger and more bright, and not the most foolish doubting that the prophecies had gone rather wrong. No fireworks would ever imagine equal the sights that night. A hail of arrows leaped up and snapped and rattled on his scales and jewels. No one had dared to give battle to it for many an age, and no one they have dared now, if not been for one company of archers that held their ground.
Hold the line there! Keep firing! Use all your arrows! Don't give up! Keep shooting at the face! We can destroy him!
Their captain was bombed. He ran to and fro, cheering on the archers.
Fire, men! Loose all your arrows! Don't give up!
Fire leaped from thatched roofs and wooden beacons as Smog shot, hurtling down and round and past again. A sweep of his tail, and the roof of the great house groaned and fell. Another swoop, and another house fell, and another, and still no arrow hurted more than a fly from the marshes. Already, men were leaping into the lake on all sides. Weapons were being flung down. Flames unquenchable burned high in the night. Ron's companions were leaving him. And then, suddenly, from out in the dark, something fluttered to his shoulder and it brought him news. It was the old thrush. Unafraid, it perched by his ear and it brought him news. Marveling, he found he could understand its tongue, for he was of the race of Dane.
Arrow! Black Arrow! To the last. Never have you failed me, and always have I recovered you. You from my father, and he from of old. Ever you came from the forge of the true king under the mountains. Go now, speed well.
Dragon swooped once more, lower than ever, and as he turned, its belly glittered white with sparkling fires and gems of the moon, but not in one place. The great bow twanged. The black arrow sped straight to the air, straight to the left hollow of the breast which Bilbo had discovered, and it smote and vanished. God shackled them, self-less of his blood. With a mighty shriek that deafened men, fell in trees and split stone, or shook, hurtling down. All of the town he fell, with a mighty shriek. The town splintered into 1,000 sparks, fire and water. There was a hiss, a gushing roar, and then a turn mighty silence. And that was the end of Smog and of Lake Town. Meanwhile, back at the lonely mountain, the dwarves had labored hard in fortifying the main entrance in a desperate defense against Smog's return. They had explored the caverns and found that it was only the front gate that remained open, and very quickly, already,
The mouth was blocked with a solid new gate. The morning was still pale when they saw a company approaching the front gate. Both men of the lake, as if armed for war, and elvish bowmen were among them. Bilbo longed to escape the dark fortress and come in and join in on the mirth. Some of the younger dwarves were moved in their hearts too, but Thorin scowled.
Who are you that come armed for war to the gates of Thorin, son of Thrain, king under the mountain?
Hail, Thorin! But why do you fence yourself like a robber in his halls? We are not yet foes, and we rejoice to find you alive beyond our hope. Came here expecting to find none living. But now that we are met, there's matter for parley and a council.
Who are you, and of what would you parley?
I am Bard, and by my hand was the dragon slain, and your treasure delivered.
What? Smaug is dead?
We have been as he was beard! The treasure is ours! I can go home with it! I, by right descent, the heir of Cirion of Dale. Your hoard is mingled much of the wealth of his halls and towns, which of old Smaug stole. Is not that a matter of which we may speak? Further, in his last battle, Smaug destroyed the dwellings of the men of Lake Town.
From whom shall we seek the recompense for our damages? An aid for our widows and our orphans? Who was it that awakened the dragon from its slumber, I might ask? And what sort of gold have you sent down the river as our reward, but dragon fire and ruin?
Have you no thought for the sorrow and misery of our people?
You put your worst cause, lass, in the cheap place. To the treasure of my people, no man has a claim. Because Smaug, who stole it from us, also robbed him of life or home. The treasure was not his, and his evil deed should be amended with a share of it. The price of the goods and the assistance we received of the lake men, we will fairly pay in due time. But nothing will we give, not even a loaf's worth, under threat of force. While an armed host lies before our doors, we look on you as foes and thieves. It is in my mind to ask, what share of their inheritance they would have paid to our kindred, had they found the hoard unguarded and us slain?
A just question, but you are not dead, and we are not robbers. Moreover, the wealthy may have pity beyond right on the needy that befriended them when they were in want. They aided you in your distress, and in recompense you have thus far brought ruin only, though doubtless undesigned.
It's still my other claims remain unanswered.
I will not parley, as I have said, with armed men at my gate, nor at all with the people of Elven King, whom I remember with small kindness. In this debate, they have no place. Be gone now! There our errands lie.
The Elven King is my friend. He has secured the people of the lake in their time of need, though they had no claim but their friendship on him.
We will give you time to repent your words. Gather your wisdom ere we return.
Yes. This is the gathering of the clouds.
We speak unto Thorin, Thrain, son of Oakenshield, calling himself king under the mountain, and we bid him consider well the claims that have been urged, or be declared our foe. At the last, he shall deliver 1/12 of the portion of the treasure unto Bard, as the dragon slayer and as the heir of Girion.
None of our gold shall thieves take while we are alive.
Since such is your answer, I declare the mountain besieged. You shall not depart from it until you call on your side for a truce. We will bear no weapons against you, but we leave you to your gold. You may eat that if you will.
Now the days pass, slowly and weary.
Winter and snow hasten behind us. This treasure is likely to be our death, though the dragon is no more. Winter and snow will bite both men and elves. May we find their dwelling in the ways grievous to bear.
That night, Bilbo made up his mind.
Oh, it is mighty cold. I wish they could have a fire up here as they do in the camp.
It is warm enough inside.
I dare say, but I'm bound here until midnight. A sorry business altogether. But not that I disagree with Thorin, may his beard grow ever longer, but he was ever a dwarf with a stiff neck.
Not as stiff as my legs. I am tired of stone passageways and stairs. I would give a good deal for the feel of grass at my toes.
And I would give a good deal for the feel of a strong drink in my throat. And a nice warm bed after a good supper.
But I can't give you those, not while the siege is on. But it is long since I've watched, and I will take your turn for you if you like. There is no sleep in me tonight.
Oh, you are a good fellow indeed, Mr. Baggins, and I shall take your offer kindly. Should there be any trouble, rouse me first, mind you. I shall be in the inner chamber to the left, not far away.
Left, yes. Yep. On you go. I will wake you at midnight, and then you can wake the next watchman.
As soon as Banquet gone, Bilbo slipped on his ring, fastened the rope, climbed down over the wall, and was gone. He had about 5 hours before him. Bilbo was asleep, and the rest were busy with Thorin searching for the Ark of Stone. And that is how it came about. Some 2 hours after his escape from the mountain, Bilbo found himself beside a warm campfire in front of a large tent, and there sat too, gazing curiously at him, both the Elven king and father.
A thief in the night! This is the dwarves' hobby! How did you get so far past our sentinel?
I am Mr. Bilbo Baggins, companion of Thorin, if you want to know. I know your king well by sight, though he may not know me to look at. But Bard will remember me, and it is Bard particularly I came to see.
Indeed. And what may be your business?
Really, you know, things are impossible. Personally, I'm tired of the whole affair. I wish I was back in the West, in my own home where folk are more reasonable. You don't know Thorin Oakenshield as well as I do now. I assure you, he is willing to sit on a heap of gold and starve as long as you sit here.
Well, then let him. Such a fool deserves to starve.
Quite so. I see your point of view. At the same time, winter is coming on fast. Before long, you will be having snow and whatnot, and supplies will be difficult. Even for the elves, I imagine. Also, there will be other difficulties. You have heard of Dane and the dwarfs of the Iron Hills?
We have. A long time ago. But what has he got to do with us?
Not as much. I see I have some information you have not got. Thorin has sent word by the birds to Dane, and he is now less than 2 days' march off, and has at least 500 grim dwarves with him. When they arrive, there may be serious trouble.
Then why are you telling us this? Are you betraying your friends? Or are you threatening us?
My dear Bard, don't be so hasty. I never met such suspicious folk. I am merely trying to avoid trouble for all concerned. Now, I will make you an offer.
Really?
I must be going quickly too.
Well done, Mr. Baggins. There's always more about you than anyone expects.
No! How did you?
All in good. Things are drawing toward the end now, unless I'm mistaken. There is an unpleasant time just in front of you. But keep your heart up. Make no thinking. There's news brewing. Be on your way now. Good night.
Puzzled but she knew. Lillimer was guided to a form where he said farewell to the elves. It was long before midnight that he climbed up back the side of the mountain. And at midnight he woke up bound, and then in turn rolled himself over and fell fast asleep without listening to the old dwarf's thanks, which he felt he had hardly earned. The next day, trumpets rang early in the camp. A company was coming to approach the front gates of the Lonely Mountain. They made their way north towards the gate.
Hail, Thorin! Are you still in the same mind?
My mind has not changed with the rising and setting of a few suns. Did you come to ask me idle questions? Still, the elf host has not departed as I bade. Till then you come in vain to bargain with me.
Is there, then, nothing for which you would yield any of your gold?
Nothing! You or your friends have to offer.
And what of the Arkenstone of Thrain?
What? That stone was my father's, and is mine! Why should I purchase my own? But how came you by the heirloom of my house? As if there is need to ask such a question of thieves.
We are not thieves! Your own we will give back in return for our own.
How came you by it?
I gave it to them.
Miserable hobbit! You undersized burglar! By the beard of Durin! I wish I had Gandalf here, curse him for his choice of you! Make his beard wither! As for you, throw you to the rocks! Your wish is granted. Here is Gandalf. Not too soon, it seems. If you don't like my burglar, please don't damage him. Put him down and listen first to what he has to say. You, all seamen league. Never again will I have dealings with any wizard or his friends! Come, what have you to say? You descendant of rats!
Dear me, this is all very uncomfortable. You might remember saying that I might choose my own share, but perhaps I took it too literally. I have been told that dwarves are sometimes politer in word than in deed. The time was all the same when you seemed to think I had been of some service. Descendant of rats, indeed. Is this all the service of you and your family that I was promised, Thorin? I take it that I have disposed of my shares as I wished, and let go with that.
I will let you go with that. And may we never meet again! I am betrayed! It was rightly guessed that I could not forbear to redeem the Arkenstone, the treasure of my house! For it, I will give 1/12 share of the hoard in gold and silver. You may divide it as you will. You will get little enough, I doubt not. Take him if you wish him to live, and no friendship of mine. Get down now to your friends, or I will throw you down.
What about the gold and the silver?
That will follow after, as can be if arranged. Get down.
Till then, we keep the stone.
You're not making a very splendid figure of king under the mountain.
things may change.
Farewell. May we meet again as friends.
Be off. If you do not hasten, I will sting your miserable feet, so we swear.
He means not to keep his word.
Fools. They know nothing of war above ground, whatever they may know of battle in the mines. Let us set on them now before they are fully rested. I have nearly 300 men in Dale, waiting for me to give the word. Join with your archers, we have nearly double that. The Hobbit speaks true, and Dane brings 500 dwarfs without heels. It would be best to take the mountain now and defend from within.
Long will I tarry ere I begin this war for gold. The dwarves cannot pass us unless we will, or do anything that we cannot mark. Let us hope still for something that can bring reconciliation. Our advantage in numbers will be enough if in the end it must come to unhappy world.
We've renegotiated. Give us the stone or die.
We are not here to fight you. We are not your enemies.
No, my enemy is long.
What have you heard, Thorin?
I want the ark.
Is this a war fire?
Friends come upon you all. Alas, it has come more swiftly than I guessed. The goblins are upon you. They amass an army 1,000 swords strong in revenge of their fallen king. Behold, they ride upon wards and wolves. Come, there is no time yet for counsel. The clouds burst.
And so began a battle that no one had expected. It was called the Battle of the Five Armies, and it was very terrible.
Come
among the stones.
Well, I'm blessed. This invisibility has its drawbacks after all. It's me, Bilbo Baggins, companion of Thorin.
It is well that I have found you. You are needed, and we have looked for you long. You would have been numbered among the dead. You are many. If Gandalf the wizard had not said your voice was last heard in this place. Are you much hurt?
Nasty knock on the head, I think.
Come. I will lead you down to the camp in the valley.
It was not long before Bilbo was set down before a tent and dwelling. There stood the dwarves and the wizard. Not even Gandalf had escaped without a wound. There were few unharmed in all the host. And there indeed lay Thorin of the shield. Wounded. Many wounds.
Thorin! No.
Farewell, good I go now to the halls of waiting. Sit beside my fathers until the world is renewed. Since I leave behind now all gold and silver, your words is a little word. I wish to part from you now, in friendship. I would take back my words and deeds. And again.
Farewell, King Under the Mountain. This is a bitter adventure, and it must end so. And not a mountain of gold can amend it. I am glad to have shared in your perils. That is more than any Baggins deserves.
No. There is more in you of good than you know. Some courage, some wisdom, blended in measure. More of us value food and cheer and song above hoarded gold. The world would be a merrier place. But Sarah Mary, I must leave it now. No. Lord, farewell. Lord,
There let it lie till the mountain falls. And may it bring good fortune to all his folk who dwell hereafter.
And then, whether you believe it or not, Bilbo turned and wept until his eyes were red and his voice was hoarse. At last, he spoke.
Mercy it is I woke up when I did. I wish Thorin were living. And I am glad we parted in kindness. You are a fool, Bilbo Baggins. You made a great mess of that business with the stone. There was a battle. In spite of all your efforts to buy peace and quiet.
I suppose you can hardly be blamed for that.
Fili and Kili.
They fell, defending Thorin with shield and with blood. It was a terrible battle. On one side, the goblins and the wild wolves, and upon the other, elves, men, and dwarves. The elves were the first to charge. Their hatred for the goblins was cold and bitter. Just as the goblins were recovered from their onslaught, there rose from across the valley a deep-throated roar. The dwarves of the Iron Hill. But the goblins had scaled the mountain from the other side, and already many were on the slopes above the gates. Victory had vanished. The battle was joined by Bard and the defenders of Lake. Upon all sides were a cloud of bats, war, and darkness. the end, the goblins scattered and ran, being hunted down or hide away. Victory was achieved, but not won. On all sides, the loss was great.
I suppose I shall be going home soon.
Return journey? As soon as you like.
Bilbo Baggins. This treasure is as much yours as it is mine. And even though you're willing to lay aside all your claim, I would reward you most richly of all.
Very kind of you. But really, it is a relief to me. How on earth should I have gotten all that treasure home without war and murder along the way? I don't know. And I don't know what I should have done with it when I got home. I'm sure it is better in your hands. Whatever you feel I'm owed, I bestow upon the Elven King.
In what way have I earned such a gift, O Hobbit?
Well, I suppose some little return should be made for your hospitality. Even a burglar has his feelings. I drank much of your wine and eaten much of your bread.
I will accept your gift, O Bilbo the Magnificent. May your shadow never grow less, or stealing it be too easy. Farewell.
Farewell, O Elven King. Merry be the greenwood while the world is yet young.
Farewell, O Gandalf. May you ever appear where you are most needed, and least expected.
Farewell, Gwen. Farewell, Papa. Farewell, Owen Oakenshield. And Fili and Kiri. May your memory never fade.
Farewell, Mr. Baggins. And may good luck follow you, wherever you can.
If ever you visit my brother and I again, when our halls are made fair once more, the feast shall be splendid.
If you are ever coming my way, don't wait to knock. Tea is at 4, but any of you are welcome at any time.
The dragon was dead, the goblins overthrown, and their hearts looked forward after winter to a spring of joy. And at last, Bilbo started on the long road home.
The last stage.
It's a long road.
But it is the last road.
And so, as all stories must eventually come to an end, even this one, there came a day when it came in sight of the Shire, where the shapes of the land and of the trees were as well known to Mr. Baggins as his hands and toes. He had arrived in the middle of an auction. There was a large notice in black selling the effects of the late Bilbo Baggins Esquire. In short, Bilbo had been presumed dead, and not everybody that said so was so sorry to find the presumption wrong. It was quite some time before Bilbo was in fact admitted to be alive again, and to save time, Bilbo had to buy back quite a lot of his own furniture. Indeed, he had found he had lost more than spoons. He had lost his reputation. However, it remains a fact he was an early friend to the end of his days, and he kept the company of dwarves and wizards and all such folk that ever passed his way. But I do say, he was no longer held quite respectable, except, of course, by his nephews and nieces on the Took side. I am sorry to say he did not mind. He also did not mind being caught up on the exploits of some of his friends.
You know, Bilbo, the men of Laketown have brought the city of Dale new life. And Bard has become the new master, and is of wiser kind. And very popular, for of course, He gets most of the credit for the present prosperity. They're making songs which say in his day, the rivers run with gold.
And the prophecies of old songs have turned out to be true. After a fashion.
Of course, and why shouldn't they be proved true? You don't disbelieve the prophecies because you had a hand in bringing them about yourself. You don't suppose, do you, that all your adventures and escapes were managed by mere luck, just for your sole benefit? You're a very fine person, Mr. Baggins, and I am very fond of you. But you are only quite a little fellow in the wide world.
Thank goodness.
Though few believed any of his tales, Bilbo remained very happy to the end of his days, and those were extraordinarily long.